There we are. Yes. I'd already said good morning and then realised it was not live. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee, the pre-Expo edition. There's a whole bunch of you there. Apparently there's no thumbs up, but it must be somewhere, maybe. Yeah, maybe because the show wasn't live. Maybe it's there now. So yes, hello, yay! I'm mostly be talking about Expo prep this time. We've got a whole bunch of people there. We've got Gary Guy, who always wants the mug reveal, so woke up gay again. Oh no, it's the mug for the day, I think. So next week, next Wednesday, I go to UK Games Expo. Well, I go Thursday, but I load the van Wednesday, so that's when it begins. So then in my prepping head, Tuesday is when it begins. So it's basically all next week. So if you're not aware of UK Games Expo, this has gone very fluffy today. It is a big sort of American style convention, but not in America, in Birmingham, UK. And it's at the NEC. So it's the biggest show we do. Sorry, Salute is a lot bigger than Salute. It's the most expensive show we do. It costs a lot to go to. I finally paid for the hotels yesterday as well. I went, "Ooh, there we go. There's a new 4-figure number there." Oops. So yeah, it's very, very expensive, but usually nice and profitable. So it works out. It's just you'll pay all that up front. It's very much a big boys con, a big boy con. Also, something bit me. I was in Andy's room yesterday watching Walking Dead, and I've got an insect bite on my leg. He blames the garden, but I blame his room because it's a boy's room. So, anyway, it just reminded me. So yeah, don't go in boys' rooms. They definitely have cooties. So it's 3 days. It's kind of 4 days because you set up on the Thursday, and then they have a press. How can you do this? A press evening on the Thursday, which I never feels quite enough press to justify it. You can also go if you're another trader. So a lot of the time it's other traders sort of wandering about, and they do have little lanyards, but they're not quite as clear as they should be. So I'll kind of be like, "Come on, Annie, you can do this. Do the spiel." And they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Anyway, I'm from Thingy Board Games. I was just curious." Like, oh, I've wasted precious energy the day before the show. So Thursday, hey, Mum's there. Mum's iPad has been fixed. That's on the topics of the day. She's back. She's back online. So so we start Thursday. We have the press evening. I've done it as a full bad Squiddo rather than like bumming space on other people's the last 2 years. So the first year I did it on my own because I sent my people away. I went, "You just go, I'll do it." And I didn't enjoy it so much because I was on my own. So I was just kind of like, whereas last year I took the squad. So and found out that there's a bar as well. So they kind of mooched about and we kind of like took it in turns manning the stand. I don't feel like I got a huge amount out of it because the people who are sort of blogger types tend to be like the board gamey people. So it was more of just a sort of casual networking rather than like there's people I can really impress that I'll, end up in their magazines sort of thing. So I felt I got a bit more out of it last year by actually abandoning the stall and leaving Gail or Ian on there and sort of wandering around and actively going and sort of chatting to people. So that like people on other stands that were stuck to their stands. So it's definitely worth doing, but more as a bonus, I think. For me, I think if you're a board game company and you're trying to get your new game out there, it is perfect. And it's a really good idea. But yeah, as a weird outlier at the show, like a weird little figures company, it's maybe not so much, but yeah, it's worth it. It's always worth a shot. You never know. You never know. So other news. So on the prep. So that what I like, you will get your 6 foot, and you just talk to a smaller amount of people. It's not the stands; they don't come around the main bit. You got to set up another little stand. But I just bring like one cabinet or something, and show off a few bits. And if I had my act together, this would have been perfect for its sort of that soft launch of Gunny Pets, but I'm really behind on it. So I'm not sure what presents there's going to be at Expo, because that's been a bit of my like, there's just so many plates spinning, which if you followed me for the last 10 years, you'll notice has been a theme. But there's just been more plates each year. So I really wanted this to be the big sort of Gunny Pets, and you can play demos of it, because I didn't get around to it at Salute. I don't know if I'm going to get around to it this year, because there's like 2 days. So it's currently on the almost certainly not happening unless some sort of miracle appears. But I'm at least going to be able to talk to people about it, and I might get some last minute flyers sort of put out. So there's some sort of like save the date sort of things. Because I did decide to put a massive World War II project in front of it as well. So, but I also want to make sure that when I do start doing stuff with Gunny Pets, that it's solid, and I want to have brain space to sort of dedicate to it, which I haven't had. And things like the migraine have wiped out quite a lot of time. That was like 2 weeks or something, where things were running on that sort of skeletal level. So yeah, so it's not negative. That would have been perfect. But then that's next year. So next year I can be really like, yes, Gunny Pet. Maybe we'll have done the Kickstarter, maybe it'll be out, and then I can start promoting it next Expo to to retail, and like this is where you can buy it. So there's nothing as a fixed date, but I very much am keen to sort of press on with Gunny Pets because it's been so long and there's so many cool ideas. But I also want to do World War II, so that's the fun of it. So where are we? So that's the Thursday. Then we've got the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are all full trading days. The awful, all full. So it's 3 salutes in a row, but slightly less hectic because salutes very much that rush on the day. But Expo can be pretty intense, especially on the Saturday. That's the busiest day. So if you want to go and it's not too busy, I'd say the busiest was Saturday, second busiest Friday, last busiest Sunday, depending on how many people you wish to see, because it can get very overwhelming because it's absolutely massive. I recommend if you're going, there's an outside spot in like the middle of the middle of the NEC. Although if you want to go and get fresh air, it is mostly people smoking, but it's good in a pinch. If you go to the middle, you might make it. And then there's Viking Village, just outside Hall 1, which is where there's actual air and canal, and I very much recommend doing that, which I do during the show, to go and just like breathe some air that isn't other people's breath. So 3 big trading days. I've sorted out the rota and everything last night. Yes, Kirill, just gonna find the outside spot, sit in a corner. Yeah, just go. That's what I do there. I just go and just not be on for a little bit because it's 3 days. And if you see how knackered I am at Salute, it's 3 days of it. Sorry, just sipping away. So where are we at? Expo prep. So that's the day of Expo. I make it sound so appealing. It is wonderful. It is my favourite weekend. Although it's a tie. That and Salute tend to be my favourite weekends of the year, though knackering. Yes, Katie will be helping out, and it's her birthday on the Saturday. So if you want to bring anything for Katie's birthday, do that, or buy stuff because it's Katie's birthday. So there. So yeah, my orders have been sent, and it is really nice. But I'm also aware that it's both a place of dreams and nightmares. So it's absolutely full. So again, this is people who not really aware of it. It's Salute's very much like a shopping day with a few bits, and they are starting to put more other things in, like the seminars. Where at Expo, it's a lot of people go for the full weekend, and so when I say American style, there's lots more on. So there's games that you can play, there's talks you can go to. It's a lot more board game and role play. The war games is quite a small part of it, so it's odd because a lot of people there have no interest in what we're doing, which is fine because they're board gamers. But because so many people come through the door, a percentage of them are interested. So even if it's a small percent, it's a small percent of a high number, if that makes sense. So it still works out really well for us. But it's still like, whereas Salute, there's a chance that every person going by is gonna like at least be vaguely interested. But Expo, you get a lot of the like, oh no, I don't do figures. So it's a mental roller coaster as well. But as a punter, there's just so much to see and do. It's great for family. I don't know what's going on with this fluff. It's great for families, groups of mates and stuff, because there is just lots to do. But the flip side is that I know lots of gaming folk tend to. Well, I don't know if it's a. Is it a thing, or is it just people I know? But there's a lot of people. A lot of people that, obviously, including myself, have various anxieties and issues with crowds of people. So that's the flips. Like, it's a place of heaven, but also there are so many people. So it's important to sort of not force yourself to take everything in. Maybe I need to do a video on that. To that you have to see every single thing, and you just go out and have some breaks, and then you'll really enjoy it. Whereas if you get to that point where you're just like, there's there's too many people, you can just go in and out as much as you like, and there's plenty of places to get drinks, and just sort of sit outside. And don't stress if you can't. I think it's probably very hard to do in one day if you want to look at everything. Another tip, if you're going, is especially the brand new board games people, they're very keen to tell you about the game, which is how they have to do it. But if you're going to listen to every single one, you won't make it round. You won't make it round. So unfortunately, you're going to have to know when to either not make eye contact with people if you know you're not going to be interested, or to just say, oh, look, I don't, because it's hard when I go for and I have my like time off my stand and someone starts doing the talk. I just go, look, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm on a break from my stand. I don't want to drain your energy. So yeah, if you're very polite and kind of listen to every single pitch, you'll never get round. So you do kind of have to pick and choose, be like, am I interested in that? So yeah, that's a bit of a ramble if you're attending. Hey, Pandemonium's come in. Woo-hoo. This year's been great for going to shows. Yes. And Salute was so good. I'm hoping Expo is going to be just as awesome. That's the point. I only did one before the event and then one afterwards. So maybe this is things starting to recover now. That would be very nice. So, but to break up the Expo chat, Mum was here prepping for Expo, helping me get some of the racks sorted. And she's fixed. I fixed Lil's iPad, so she's back online. She's back. She's got all the accounts set up. She can't possibly forget her passwords this time. Although I did promise that I was going to type up your passwords for you, Lil, and I forgot to bring them next week, and I'll make you a nice display, nice display of passwords. So yeah, Mum's back. She's back in the group. She did have to make a new Facebook account because there was no way she's getting into that other one. And I have set her up a new Google account. I'm not sure. I think she's on that one. That's something like Annie's mum. Oh yeah, super nice. Says maybe I need a t-shirt. So I'm not much of a board gamer. Sorry. Yeah, I wanted a t-shirt. It's just like I'm on my break. It's don't. It's okay. So I feel really bad, but I appreciate that it's really difficult if you're launching a brand new game and you've got nothing else. You're not attached to one of the big names in board games, because that seems really brutal, that if you've got one of those distributors or publishers, people will see it, but if not, it's extra hard for people to notice. So what you've got to do is just plug so hard on it, and it must be really exhausting because you can't just, I feel like sometimes they go too much into the mechanics. So I'll sort of walk past and I'll be like, and then we've got these cards, and I'm just like, I can't take in what you're saying. But if you give me the gist of like, and then go, "Are you still interested?" You know, like it's vehicular mayhem or something like that. You're like, "Oh, now I'm interested." But yeah, so I feel bad for them because my stuff kind of like some minis. Do you want them? Do you want them? So stuff I was in an office yesterday. I'll be in the office this afternoon, and what was the stuff I was doing last night? Evening plan. Got to do the evening plan. The hotel. I booked the hotel on a flexi because I wasn't sure if I liked that hotel enough. Um, so I booked, and I wasn't sure how many people and stuff I'd have. And then yesterday, I noticed if I booked it yesterday, it would be cheaper than the booking I already had. So little things like that that take up a lot of time. That's what I'm doing when I post like, I'm doing all this stuff. Um, it's not just things like racking, it's just sorting out lots of bits and bobs. So yeah, having go okay, I'm gonna book this before I cancel this one. Yes. Oh, I just saved £100. How bizarre. So Bad Squiddo, we stay in the budget hotel. We don't stay on site because everywhere on site there is just it's impossible. Like there's no way, no way. But it's actually really easy to get back and forth to Birmingham. So it's not in the middle of Birmingham. And I think that daunts people because that daunted me the first time. Because I thought, well, you've got to stay. I like staying as close to the venue as possible. You know this for Salute. So if anything goes wrong or any attention is required, I can just go there. So that's why I stay in the more expensive ones at Salute because I can just walk to it. And at Expo, that was a bit of a fear the first time I went. I'm like, I need to be in like the Hilton, but it's thousands of pounds. I cannot afford that. But if you stay by Birmingham New Street, then you can just get the train. You can either just get the train straight there, which goes from New Street into Expo, basically. So it's like you're just there, and it's really easy, and they run all the time. Or if there's a bunch of you, just get an Uber or taxi. So that's fine. So we do that. Again, so going through the boring bits because people don't know. So hopefully this is of some interest. All these little logistics. We have to book a thing called Voyage. Just so fluffy. Voyage Control, which always sounds quite sci-fi, which Salute started using this year. The first year, I was like, oh, Voyage Control, that's quite confusing. It's this whole thing you've got to book. And it's just like, it seems really complicated, but once you've done it, but you've got to book the vehicle and book your times, and it's like, if you're slightly off, we'll fine you, and it's like access gates and all this. But it makes sense. And when I first did it, I thought, why don't Salute do this? Salute's usually a bit of a nightmare to get into, but they've done that now. So I've got my account and it just kind of clicks and you're like, where do you want to go? At Game Expo, put your driver's details in, here's your thing. So I did that last night. Jill said that's a good tip. Yes, been useful. Yeah, and there's so many places to stay in Birmingham. They're not all crap in the middle of Birmingham. You can get, because that's what I was tempted to do last minute. So I wanted, I was pondering. So we've got Gail, who you'll know from other shows, and we shared a room at Salute. And I know that my snoring didn't keep her awake, so I thought, oh, we can save money and share a room at Expo. But I thought I just need that decompression time, that like that time where there's just nobody there and I can walk like a crab or something, just to like get it out, you know. So I thought, you know what, let's go somewhere cheap, get a room each. But what I was pondering, and what I may do another year when I can, it's because I had a bit of a meltdown last year, so I thought, yeah, I probably need space to just be away from other people for a bit. But I was pondering staying somewhere nicer and sharing a room for the same price. But yeah, I'm going to do the basics. But I looked around a lot of those hotels that are around Birmingham, and don't need to be right on New Street. It's just that's if you want the ultimate convenience. But just a short walk away from there, there's loads of nice hotels that are still nice, but so much cheaper than Hilton or any of the ones on there. They were so every year, I think, just do it, Annie. Everyone else seems to just book the Hilton, and it's so expensive. I think maybe if you've got one room, you can justify it. But I've got multiple rooms, so I've booked 3 rooms, and that adds up over 3 nights quite quickly. So yeah, I definitely would recommend staying in town. And it's so the fact it's so easy to get a taxi or Uber to town, even if you're staying up really late. The only downside is you can't nip to your hotel and get a shower or something. But for the amount that you save, like just buy new clothes or something, you'd save so much more. So, oh yeah, I just need to scribble. It doesn't matter anyway. That was a rental. Just scribbling out a bit of details there. So what I have at UK Games Expo is called Annie's Brian, and Annie's Brian is back. It's very official looking, and this is where the specific. Ignore all those guinea pigs. The specific information gets put. So I gathered the Brian up yesterday, and I keep that on me when we're going in and out and to hand. And it's got the site map. Don't want to show you off too much info. It's got the van pass, the exhibitor pass, things like a very easy to read references for when we're stuck in the traffic and someone's going, "What's the thing?" And I go, "I don't know, but you can get it all online, but there's not always internet." And then you're on your phone going, "Nah." So it's nothing confidential on that. So it's things like when you can get your vehicle access, that's all on there. Very organised I am. How many trade passes you get when you go and get them. Oh wow, Jez got put in a Hilton for 10 days working on Tolkien, got covered in mud from the World War I trench and didn't want to touch anything. Car parking passes. That made me laugh yesterday. Breakdown. I was like, oh, I get to schedule it. So yeah, all the info that I will need and that people will ask me regarding the practicalities all go into the Brian. So any notes that has to be Expo goes into the Brian. And there's us in hall 2 of that massive complex. Ooh, that's us. So the Brian is sorted. All the Brians. High vis, we don't get let in without a high vis, so that's been sorted. I got new high vis because I always seem to lose them. I got high vis with a pocket for a pen, so I'm well excited. That's arriving today. My pen. I'm gonna make sure I have a pen on the go and a little notebook maybe. I can't fit the Brian into it, which is a shame. That's just got boring stuff that you might find interesting behind the scenes. Sawing the layout of the stand. The headers have been very exciting. I've been posting them around Twitter and Facebook. I tried a new website because I only have a crappy, it's not very good, like it could hear me, a very good laser, but it's black and white A4 printer. So anything in colour. So that's why my headers are always just black and white. And I found a website where I can print singles without having to do like thousands of things. So I've got printed some brand new colour headers that are big and A3, and they're going to look so beautiful all together. So I'm really happy about them. They're going to make the stand look really smart, really put together. I've got roll text. There's some new roll text that'll be out at Expo, and I need to check and see how much information about that's publicly available. I think she's announced it all, but they'll be out on the day. Some more war game themed roll text. So I've got the banner for that. Made a really nice Gamers Grass banner. So shows like these where it gets so busy, it means you can sort of glance above the crowds and think, okay, I'll wait because I want to see that, or I'll come back later. Whereas when it's just racks and people are in there, you can't really see what's. So these little bits, designing them, I had a bit of a brain block because I was trying to make them look good, and you don't want them to be too colourful, and there's like a whole balancing act of that. So but I'm pleased they've looked really good. So they arrived yesterday. Yes. But Mum's been checking all the rack stock, checking them replenishing. So we're getting way ahead on that. So that's really good. Ghouls. I was supposed to be doing a newsletter yesterday, but I didn't. But ghouls. There will be some new ghouls available there. I haven't decided what they're called yet. Something like ravenous ghouls, I think, these ones, because they're really crazy. Oh, and maybe Joan of Arc. Depends. Again, it's like it's not next week. It's in a couple days. It's in a couple days. So whatever I can sort of pull out last minute to get going, I will. But if you are at Expo, you must come over and you must introduce. You don't have to actually, but I'd really like it if you introduce yourself, because there's a lot of people, as I say every time, that will say afterwards, "Oh, it's great to see you." I'm like, "But who were you?" I like to see your face. And then if I see you at another show, it's then locked in. I can be like, "It's you." It may take a couple shows for that to work, just in case. So yeah. We got Evil Ginger says crowdfunder prod. Which crowdfunder and which prod? Grimdark, yes, it was very much the Grimdark week. I finally got that Skull and Bones stuff in, and it went in a day. Mum can witness the madness that was there. It's going to go. People are going to want to buy it tomorrow, but it's going to be gone. But they don't believe me because they think I'm driving hype, but it's going really fast. So I did another classic Annie where I managed to get some. So me and North Star were the only ones with it, and we both sold out. Good. I like doing that because I'm like, yeah, I'm a mover and shaker. Take that. So they are restocking, but Kraut Cover is one of those companies that you think, have got all these machines that just like go on the assembly line. But from my understanding, it's a guy sort of going like 6 bones, 6 bones, 6 bones. So just like dribbling bones and dirt into stuff. Oh yeah, I didn't ever think about the library for printing. So yeah, so he'll be restocking, but I can't take pre-orders because I don't know how many I'm going to get, so I don't want to make anyone sad. What have I got here? Old Guard Games. Old Guard Games has started opened in Missouri. My America's so bad. Oh, it's not Minnesota. Someone will correct me very quickly. But it looks like the best shop ever. They're not just some random folk. It's the people behind Badger Games that stock everything from Bad Squiddo. So Old Guard Games is their shop, and it just looks. Oh, I want to go. I've never really wanted to go to a gaming center. I kind of go, I'll pop in. Like they're all pretty much the same. But this is just something else. It's like a destination shop. Like I'd love to, if I was anywhere near there, I'd definitely go because it just looks lovely. Super posh, yeah. Yeah, if that was my local, I'd just be there all the time, I think. I'd just take my laptop and just do work from there because it looks lush. It's partly the difference between like the UK and America is they just get so much land. So everything has to be squished into our shops, doesn't it? I'm gonna share, I think, what Simon Ginger meant. Oh. He's shared in, I can't share a link and I don't have a keyboard at the moment, but he's shared in Baggy's Cave, so to check it out. What's the shop? Didn't mention the shop. Hang on. I'll get the shop name in a mo, or he'll put it in the comments. But he put the local gaming's venue is falling down, and they're doing a crowdfunder and 24-hour live stream to raise some money for it. Books and Banter, yes. It's in Berkey's Cave, which I think pretty much all of you are in, so that's where the link and the information is. Let me just grab into that. Berkey's Cave. My 12% battery. Yes, so Books and Banter. Let me click on that. Oh, they're getting there. They've still got a long way to go, but so Books and Banter is a shop in, I don't know, the UK. Again, sure, we'll get some info. So it's a UK shop, and it looks like a lovely shop. It says it's been a safe and inclusive place we've poured our souls into for the last 3 years. Oh no, pop-up ad. 18 months of battling leaks and roof and the landlord being terrible. Oh, they've had several ceilings collapse. So it's a fundraiser to help get them back on their feet, I think. And they're going to get a new venue that's not as grim. And yes, nice, safe and inclusive. So it's always good to have those sorts of places. So their fundraiser is going pretty well, but could do a bit more. So just have a little look. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything, but you can. Sorry, I'm totally related looking at the chat. Yeah, you can have a little look, and you could always share it. Sharing always helps if you haven't got any cash. Because yeah, bricks and mortar, they are the lifeblood of the hobby. That's where people can go physically, because the internet's great, but having places to go, and again, as we said, it's the whole safe and inclusive. There's a lot of us that are on all sorts of fringes of various stuff. So to have somewhere that you can go can be really like an essential thing, really. Oh, we got Andy. No, it wasn't him. It was his creatures. We were discussing before you were awake, Andy, about that there's cooties in boys' rooms. Yeah, it's that whole third space thing as well, isn't it? Like sometimes, yeah, you need to pay to get into the gaming venue. I don't know about this one. Sorry. But yeah, just somewhere you can go and hang out, I think, without, you know, the pressure or it being a pub or something is huge. So yeah, definitely. And good luck to them for their fundraising. Where Badger. I think that's most of my news this time. I'm going to sit and watch a TV show. I've accepted it. I am going to sit and I'm going to watch the final episode of Staff Let's Flats, because I've been watching that in my downtime and I'm on the last episode. So that means I can't binge it. So I'm going to sit comfortably and watch that rather than pretending I'm going to do something else. And then I've got to go to the office and do more stuff because I don't want to leave it till the last minute. There were some last minute bits that I didn't finish for Salute, and it really wound me up on the day. If you saw me in the morning, I was getting really stressed. So I do a lot of this stuff beforehand just to make sure it's as easy as possible. And anyone working on the stand, it's as easy as possible for them to find things or do things or help set up and set down. So it's a lot of micro tasks, but that really help. So because I changed the header cards quite a lot, there's loads of them and they're not all currently in use. So for example, at Salute, I was saying to Gail, like, right, so you need to dig through, find the correct cards, and then you kind of have one of those and one with the logo on as well, and there might not be enough clips. Whereas at Expo, it's just 3 clips and they've all got the full thing, boom, and there's no extras to be confusing. Everything that's there goes up. Yes, so that sort of thing. Tesseract is here. Woo. Are you coming to Expo this year? I met Tesseract last year at Expo and I got this wonderful Jean de Clisson. Is that in my cabinet? I think she does live in my cabinet now, actually, which is ace. Anything else? No spoilers. I went to see Furiosa. That's really good. And I might go again after Expo because it's really good. Someone asked earlier, have I booked a holiday after Expo? I haven't, but I think this is good. I think I'm going to have a mostly week of doing nothing rather than any sort of traveling holiday. I'm just going to chill out, maybe read, maybe go in the hammock. I will be in the office, but I think I'll just have a half chill week. So have like maybe a day off, then a half day, then maybe a full day, and just kind of do that to recover, I think. There's quite a lot of things coming up in the summer, so yes, It was on Corvus Belly and will be coming in. But that is one of the best things about Expo. I get to see lots of people that I don't see normally. The only downside is there's usually socialising afterwards, and that's when I'm just absolutely dead. Oh no! So this happened with Salute. I kept saying after Salute, after Salute. And this year it was loads of payments because I think it was Andy going, "Why haven't you got any money after Salute? You came back with all that money and now it's gone." I was like, "Yeah," because I kept saying it's all right if I pay after Salute. So now I keep saying I'll do fun things after Salute. So I am legally obliged to play The Walking Dead and Warhammer: The Old World. After Salute. So maybe I'll even be playing, or maybe even painting minis. That'd actually be nice. So hopefully I'd be like pumped up, but don't want to go exploring and going around and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna chill. Yeah, that's Jez says there when he finishes the film. What film are you working on, or is it a secret? Is to sit on his ass and paint minis for a week. Yeah, I want to do something like that after Expo, and then it's gonna be that. Well, I'm gonna be into then prepping the Kickstarter. There's still the community minis that I went. I said June for those, didn't I? So I need to speed up on those. So I'll probably be doing some stuff like that where it's working but from home and in pajamas. So I think I'm gonna just chill out that sort of way. I think that is all. Yes, Katie, you could do with finding some dice to make earrings. Yes. That's it all. That's it all. Go see Furiosa. It's so good. It's so good. There won't be a show next Sunday as I will be at Expo. There'll be some sort of post-Expo, but I'll decide nearer the time. I might do like a Monday evening or something like that next week because I'll have lots that I want to say about Expo. And if I wait the next week, I'll forget most of the anecdotes. So, I cannot wait. I will see a whole bunch of you at Expo. Make sure to introduce yourself. Even if you think, I'm sure Annie knows who I am by now, there's a chance that I might not, and I've just been polite. Oh, Jez says, can't say it's canny big. And oh, you were in front of the camera. Are you an extra in this? So Jez does really good level work and does stuff for film. So that's exciting. Yes, go see Furiosa. It's so good. It's very rare I go to the cinema. It's usually like once a year, if that. But it's so good that I will probably go again. And my treat afterwards, as always. So I'll get back from Expo, hopefully, hopefully be like, woo, look at all this money. And then before I have to pay all the bills, I might go and treat myself to the garden. My garden's looking so nice. It's looking so good. It's the best hobby I've ever picked up. Sorry, wargaming. The garden's looking so good. I might get a few more bits. Just little ones. Nothing, not a big tree, but there's a few gaps. I might get a few more little ones. Jez's mates are on the costume department. I love it so much. There's that Wasteland weekend. Just never have enough. We'll never have enough money. Maybe one day where they do all that stuff. I love it. I love it so much. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna watch a terrible comedy about some people that can't let flats. Woo! And I will see you around. My head's up the other day. I was worried it came across negative, and I was like, I'm really busy. Like now it's easy to tell you in person. Yeah, it's just sorry if I don't get back to you on some stuff because I'm doing all these little bits and bobs. But when I said that it's astronomical, it costs me thousands of pounds. Well, it costs about Squiddo, but that's me as well. It costs thousands of pounds to go to Expo. So it's very important that we do the best job possible to get that money back and then some more to make the money to then put into World War II figures. Woo! That's the trick. I put on Twitter yesterday, I was like, ooh, because you get to choose what your main category is and like fantasy and sci-fi. That's us. And then they get here and you're like, World War II and other historical eras. So that's the trick. Mum is going to be here Tuesday and Wednesday helping out, getting the last bits ready. The very last casts will be arriving, so you can get those blister packs. And I will go. I'm going to go. Right. Thank you. Good to see you. And I'll see some of you in person soon. Bye.